I've already tried to record this voiceover 2 times, so pray for me. 3rd time's the charm, 3rd time's the charm! Hello, I'm Zaccura and welcome back to my channel, and today's video is going to be just a good old-fashioned digital art and chat. Might not have as aesthetic video editing, but hopefully the conversation which involves aesthetics will make up for that. Gonna talk about things that have been going on, art block stuff, my plans for October. We might get a little philosophical. I mean, it wouldn't be a proper Zaccura art and chat without a little over-analyzing and rambling off topic. So that's enough introing. Let's open this taco. Oh, tacos, I haven't had those in forever. If you couldn't tell already by the title of this video, I have been having art block. Partially due to just not drawing for pretty much the entire month of August. As some of you guys know already, during August, I was working on opening my online shop on Zaccura.com. I also strained my right arm. That really sucked butt. But that's all talked about in my last video. Like that's old news. So going into September, I was so ready to get back into art. I actually might have even gotten a new traditional medium to try out, and I did. New videos were getting filmed. I had all these ideas. Things were going great until they weren't. Just about a week ago, at the time that I'm recording this, it seemed like everything started going wrong. But not horribly wrong, just a little wrong. Just wrong enough to compel you to want to complain about it, but you don't really, because once you actually start verbally contextualizing the feelings in your head, that part of you just squints its eyes back at you like,
dude, come on. Stop being a baby.
But when you have enough things all going a little annoyingly wrong at the same time, it adds up. Especially for a cooked bean like me. It's called having a bad day, or a bad week, or a bad couple of weeks. I mean, those videos I just kind of hinted at, they still aren't up, are they? Where are they? Honestly, even making this video right now, this is like a last minute video I put together because all the other ones weren't working out and I didn't want to go a whole nother week without posting. And even this video was just not cooperating. This right here, this voice, this narration, this is like the 3rd time I'm trying to record this voiceover. The left earphone in my headset just popped off randomly last night and I had to glue it back together. I mean, at this point, my life has basically become a sitcom. And the thing is about me, at least, is that when I'm having a sucky time, even if it's a comedically sucky time, I get art block. I am not one of those people who make vent art. I can't make vent art. It just doesn't happen. When I'm not at my 100%, then I just lose all of my motivation to draw. Or I'll like be in this situation where I get this feeling like I do want to draw because I remember how fun it was, but I keep stopping myself because I get this negative, nagging feeling like I'm just gonna mess it up and end up feeling worse. Which, quite honestly, is pretty true. I get very attached to my illustrations. If I mess something up, I am a baby about it. When? And that's on a good day. If I'm already feeling crummy, if I already had a bad day, and then I screw up a painting, honey, you better be ready to get that homemade lasagna going, cause ooh. But, and we're finally getting to the point of discussion here. Did I complain enough about my first world problems? Yes, great, we can move on now. I have sort of accidentally stumbled upon a pretty effective method of fighting art block, which is to turn to aesthetics. Rather than focusing on making an illustration, or coming up with an idea, or even really making art, you instead just focus on the basics of the basics. Shapes and colors that make you happy. And that's it. Don't even try to go any further. Don't try to come up with a character design using your favorite aesthetic colors. No, that would be making art. You're not an artist right now. Your brain is fried, it's crispy. You can't focus on making art, especially if you're someone like me who doesn't consider her illustrations as art unless she puts 120% effort into it. You know, healthy. The illustration that you're seeing the process of right now is called Dejected Space Frog. Damn right. And it was the result of me being in that situation where I wanted to make art, but I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. No. Because of a lack of motivation, a lack of inspiration, and that feeling that I'll mess something up and end up feeling worse. You know, that healthy brain omelet. But I still wanted to draw. I mean, I certainly wanted to continue being productive because God knows I don't know how to take a vacation. And so I was like, I'm not going to make art. No. I'm going to open my laptop, open Clip Studio Paint, fill my canvas with dark blue, and start doodling yellow star shapes. Why? Because I saw it on a box of moon pies. Yes, I went there. And I found the look of that just very aesthetically pleasing to me. And also, maybe it reminded me of that tasty taste of marshmallows and chocolate and whatever those little biscuit things are.
This video was brought to you by moon pies.
So once I started doodling my bogus stars on my blue background, I was like, okay, let's keep going with this. I like cartoony frogs, but really, who doesn't? And I was like, well, okay, let's start getting some logic in here. Because a frog in space, not logical. Clearly, I can't draw that. Way too random. But a space frog in space. Now we're thinking Zaccura. And I just drew stuff on a very basic, almost mindless level that made me happy. Like the shape of that circular moon against that dark background, happiness. I guess I'm pretty easily pleased. But most importantly, I wasn't concerned about making art or making an illustration. I was just spending some time to consume myself in the purely aesthetic and comfortable parts of making art that are most satisfying to me in the short term. And what I ended up with was an actual illustration that makes me really happy. I mean, how can Dejected Space Frog not make you happy? And I didn't stop there. After I was finished with Dejected Space Frog, I was like, man, I really like how that moon looks. I'm telling you, something about that shape. So I'm going to remove DSF, as he has now been nicknamed, from the picture and make another picture recycling that exact same moon. And I ended up making this random children's book cover. Why would I do that? Who the heck wants to see two different illustrations with the exact same copy and pasted background? And after that, I spent another hour turning Dejected Space Frog into an enamel pin design. Because who doesn't want a Dejected Space Frog pin? Will I actually get it made? Probably not. Is that gonna stop me from getting all inspired to do a crazy project for the month of October this year that I'll talk about near the end of this video that you should definitely stick around to listen to? Yes. I mean, no. Wait, how did I start this sentence? And from this accidental, self-indulgent act of drawing aesthetics, I've discovered an actual method to stay productive and keep making art in a positive way, even when you're feeling too art blocked to make whatever you feel qualifies as normal, real art. And to me, real art is art that I make when I am at my 120%. When I make art that I put my full effort into, my full heart into, or pieces that I really wanted to accomplish something with, or grow, or get out of my comfort zone. Tall order to fill, let me tell ya. But that's also what makes art my passion. That's the relationship I have with art, and I like having that relationship, and I still do have that relationship, just not all the time, not right now. Right now, I don't want to learn. Self-growth, getting out of my comfort zone, please. I am a big mood right now. It took me 4 days to get this voiceover straight, for crying out loud. Usually, as you guys should know by now, blabbing is not a problem for me. And I know soon enough I'll be back to my less cynical and probably less funny, annoyingly positive and motivated self, but at the same time, I am also really, really happy to have found this effective method to make art even when I'm not at my 100% or 120%, whatever percentages we're talking about here. Who the heck brought math into this conversation anyway? I've been thinking about this for some time actually, because I don't get to choose when I'll have a bad day, but I do have to live with this art hindrance that is getting art art blocked whenever I have a bad day. And as someone with all of these ambitions and goals for my art, someone who wants and likes to put responsibilities and schedules on herself, I can't afford to be taking a hiatus from art every time my brain decides to cook itself. And all of the other methods to fight art block I've tried before really don't work when it comes to motivational art block, because it's not about running out of ideas on what to draw. A lack of inspiration is something that you can remedy in many different ways. I mean, building an inspiration folder like I talked about in a previous video, looking up prompt lists, talk to your friends. There are whole apps dedicated to giving you ideas, for crying out loud. But all of the ideas in the world won't matter when you're too bummed out and negative to even start. So this method of turning to aesthetics is really a way to get you to pick up that paintbrush in the first place, because you're not picking up that paintbrush with the preset that you're going to make art. You're not going to make something that is finished and that you can put on your social media. You're going into it just with the mindset that you're going to do an activity that you enjoy. Because the truth is, not every part of making an illustration is fun. You might love coloring but hate doing line work. You might love line work but hate sketching. You might love sketching but hate drawing hands. And if every time you open your sketchbook to draw, you're opening it thinking that you're going to have to commit to that whole process every time, you're only gonna actually get yourself to draw when you are feeling good and motivated. And now, when I say turn to aesthetics, I don't just mean drawing aesthetic subjects. I probably don't need to tell you to do that, because I think we all kind of do that by default anyway. I hardly draw things that I don't find appealing unless it's to practice or something. What I mean by aesthetics is you gotta get basic. What is your favorite color? Yellow? Great. Grab a yellow marker and start blobbing it on there. You don't need a reason. Just go for it, man. I didn't start Dejected Space Frog thinking I was going to draw a dejected frog in a spacesuit in space on a moon. I just wanted to draw yellow star shapes on a blue background. And the thing is, the glorious catch here is once you get yourself to just start under the prerequisite and comfort that you're just consuming yourself in something that is positive and mindless and just fun and entertaining, you more likely than not will automatically start getting creative and motivated. And you might just end up with an actual factual illustration that makes you really happy. I mean, how can Dejected Space Frog not make you happy? And because you got yourself out of that normal formulaic way that you're most accustomed to illustrating in, you just might discover a whole new style that you really love, and it motivates you to keep making art in that way. Also, aesthetics don't have to just be visual either. There can also be aesthetic processes. This is especially true for traditional mediums because you can feel the texture of everything. So just like take a second to think about your favorite, most satisfying parts of illustrating. Maybe it's that smooth line work, maybe it's laying down those creamy paints. And skip everything else. Just screw everything else. Head straight for that favorite part. If you love those creamy paints but can't be bothered to come up with a whole illustration, just freaking fill up a whole page of color swatches. It doesn't matter if you've done them before, do them again. I mean, who doesn't like seeing those pretty little squares all next to each other? Maybe you love that satisfying part of peeling off the tape from a finished painting, revealing those crispy lines. Well, then grab some tape, stick it on your paper, slap on some watercolor washes, and peel away. Get that satisfaction going. It sounds kind of silly and ridiculous, but I am willing to bet my chocolate chip cookie that these satisfying and purely aesthetic activities will spark your creativity and motivation. You're an artist whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter how crummy you're feeling, there's always going to be that part inside you that is just begging to create. The problem is that, in my case at least, it's a very small, softy Cinnabon that hides whenever the big boy bully negativity walks in. Where is this narration going? So anyway, long story short, when in doubt, turn to aesthetics. You might be surprised at how a superficial activity can turn into some of your most creative works of art. Now, before we wrap up with the video, I wanted to tone it down a bit. I got a little excited, didn't I? I was preaching. But I did want to talk some more about some like personal arty things, just like update you guys on like my projects and plans and stuff like that. So as I already mentioned, I opened up my shop a couple of weeks ago, and thank you guys so much for the support and for like adopting little whale fly stickers. I loved packaging and flying them over to their new homes. I am planning on getting a few more items up before this month is out, including some new prints, some new cards. I might just add Dejected Space Frog as a print or a card or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm also having a desk calendar coming out soon. I finished designing it and I made a little prototype. I went for a very simplistic, minimalist kind of design. There's going to be a few different color options and they're all going to be handmade and shipped in these cute little boxes. If you couldn't tell already, I love shipping things and packaging things and writing little notes to my customers and stuff. But I'm also going to have like the digital print out version available, and I'm going to make like a whole tutorial video which will go up whenever I can finish that, and I'll show you guys how to make your own desk calendar. So if you want to do it yourself, you can do it. And as for my plans for October, so ever since like last year already, I was thinking about not doing Inktober this year, because last year it already felt a little like in the way, if you will. My life is very different now than it was 2 or 3 years ago. I have a lot of other projects going on year-round, and not to mention I'm also very comfortable with drawing in ink now, so I don't feel like I need the practice. But I have realized that some of my best work has come out of doing monthly challenges. I mean, my first published book, Zig's Journey, Hello, String to the Other Side, even Mermaid. Some of my like best art collections came out of that. So there's just something about the heat of drawing every day for a month that seems to agree with me. So I was thinking about maybe doing my own made-up challenge for October, since that's next month. And my idea was to do Pintober. Not sure if it's already taken, maybe it is, I'll have to check. But regardless of whatever catchy hashtag I'll give it, the project was inspired by this Dejected Space Frog pin design that I made for whatever reason, and it just really got me thinking about how much I've wanted to make enamel pins in the past. I did like a bunch of research a couple years ago and I was really looking into it, but I never pursued it because I just simply didn't have the means. I mean, they're kind of expensive and you have to buy them in bulk, and even though I can probably afford to get a design made and then just kind of sit on the stock until I sell them all, which will probably take me like 5 years, that's still like, that's a big commitment to choose one single design and get freaking 100 pins made. There's no way I can choose. I am bad at making decisions, so I'm going to have you guys choose for me. My idea for Pintober is to design a new enamel pin design every day for the month of October. Post them on Instagram and then have you guys vote on your favorites. And at the end, the most popular design would get made into an actual factual hard enamel pin. Now, realistically, I don't know if I can actually create 31 enamel pin designs in a month. Or at least 30, because you know Dejected Space Frog is going to be day 1. But they're a lot harder to design than you might think due to the restrictions, like no shading. Each color has to be separated by metal. It's only going to be like 1 to 2 inches, so you can't get carried away with the details. It can be hard to design something that looks good in that style, but at the same time it's really fun and it's really cute. So maybe I'll do like half of the month, like post every other day, so there'll be 15 designs in the end to choose from. We'll see. I'll post the actual details once we're closer to October and I've decided on the logistics of it. If you're not already, definitely go follow me on Instagram, because that's where most of the details and voting and posting and stuff will be going down. Let's do it. Let's do this. Let's commit. Getting married to the enamel pins. I don't know, my brain is still messed up, man. What do you guys think? Is it a good idea? Would you be interested in enamel pins from me? Would you vote on Instagram? Let me know. Either way, I mean, there's a lot you can do with 31 cute digital art designs. I mean, I could always like make the rest of the designs into stickers. Speaking of which, I finally received all of my sticker paper samples. So I'm excited to go and try them out and then choose my favorites and then get a bunch, and we'll be in that sticker business, people. So that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you so much for watching and listening and spending some of your day with me. I hope you found this video interesting or entertaining in any way, and if you did, please be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Also hit that little bell so you stay notified on upcoming videos. If you have a minute, be sure to drop a comment below letting me know what you thought of the video. How do you like Dejected Space Frog? And what are your thoughts on aesthetics fighting art block and enamel pins? Whatever, man. I always love hearing from you guys. If you'd like to check out my shop or subscribe to my newsletter, all that can be found on my website, Zaccura.com. Link is in the description box. And until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!